So they say people's number one fear is public speaking. Death is third. I'm thinking if I'm sitting on a plane, we're at 30,000 feet, and I look out the window and see an engine fall off as we're plummeting to the ground at 500 miles an hour, I don't think I'll be thinking to myself, well, at least I'm not talking to a bunch of strangers. I'm glad I'm talking to a bunch of strangers. I never thought about having a beginning, so I guess here it is. I like to start off talking about my family. We talk a lot about Palestinians. It's a hot topic. It's been a hot topic for about 5,000 years, I think. I don't even know how long. I don't know the history, really. I don't, of how the whole Palestinian, were they Philistines? I don't know any of that stuff. My father's Palestinian, so I'm half Palestinian, and my mom's white, and that's kind of how I came out, pretty white. But we had Thanksgiving with my family, little family get together. There was about 30 of us. It was like a Hamas family reunion. I mean, there was more. You almost had to wear a spit guard. You seen the dentists where they got the mask so you don't spit all over you? Not that I'm saying Arabic is one of those languages where they spit all over you. I think I can talk about Arabs. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're like a quarter Arab or half Arab, talk about them, Full-on Arab, do it. Quarter Arab, I'm not really sure. So hanging out with my folks, it's great. We speak, people are like, so how long have you been in the United States? When did you? My grandparents came over, I don't know, 80 years ago, something like that. I don't speak Arabic. I don't even think I look really too Palestinian. I just know my father has those hardcore traditions. They're not really hardcore. They're Christians. They're not even Muslims. So how hardcore is Christians? I think Baptists are more hardcore than Christian Palestinians. I'm just saying. My father tries to keep the rules going, Daniel, clean up your room. Put your clothes where they belong. I said, yeah, I will as soon as you get the hostages out of my closet. Can you tell hostage jokes? Is it too? No? There are really hostages in my room, though. So here's the deal. I came out white because my mother is of German descent. My father is Palestinian. So, because people ask, they're like, what kind of last name is that? It's Palestinian last name. You don't look Palestinian because my mother's German. They're like, no shit? Your dad's Palestinian and your mom's German? I'm like, yeah, that's right. This dude actually said, what kind of Jew-hating machine were they trying to create? So I thought about it for a second, and then I had to kill him. But I stoned him to death. I did. Fucking threw rocks at him, just big enough to hurt you. Take a long time to kill you. So that's what we did. So it's interesting, having your family look like another race and you look like a different, completely not that person, Like, here's your cousin. They're like, that's not my cousin. I don't even know if is that even an Arabic accent? That's more like an Arabic accent. He's not my cousin. Can't believe how everything's changed, including me falling apart. There's things I never said when I was younger that I'm saying now that I never imagined the words coming out of my mouth. One of them is, I think I slept wrong. How the fuck do you sleep wrong? We're talking about that this morning because I'm trying to get up and I'm like, oh my God, my fucking neck is killing me. What happened? Would you lift something? Did somebody hit you with a bat? Nope. I think I slept wrong. That's a messed up realization in your life right there. How the fuck do you sleep wrong? I don't know. I went to sleep on my isotonic therapeutic pillow and fucking woke up with my head shut in the fucking dresser. I don't know how I fucking slept wrong. My neck hurts and I'm irritable. So what do? You're irritable, your neck hurts, you got to get up to do shit. First thing you do is get yourself a cup of coffee because, that'll just take away that irritability immediately. That was sarcasm, by the way. I think relationships are funny. I think they're funnier more than most people. Not all of you, but some of you. Being married like 2, 3, 4 times, you realize how funny relationships are, at least in marriages. But like the dumbest thing will ruin a marriage. Like stupid things. Not like, my husband's an alcoholic and he beats the shit out of me. Fucking leave. You know what? People like that usually don't get out of marriages. Really? Where are you going with this, funny man? Beat your wife, alcoholism? There's a fucking joke in there? No. The stupidest things that will end relationships, like my number one fear in life is spiders. I can barely say the word. I almost have to say speeders because I know what I'm talking about when I say speeders because spiders are like, they're nasty. They're demons is what they are. A lot of people think snakes are the one who made Eve bite the apple and fucking destroy man and the world. No, it was a spider. So here's what happened. I went to the room to go to bed. I had some sting mark on my arm or something. I don't know. My wife was accusing me of shooting heroin. I'm like, it's a fucking bite, mosquito, some shit. Who shoots heroin in the forearm anyway? I mean, besides a homeless junkie that can't find a vein. But I'm not a homeless junkie. I'm sitting in my nice goddamn house with the bed, and I'm thinking there's a spider. There's something bit me. I look up. There's a spider on the ceiling right in the corner. So it's like, and it's hard to get because we have 12-foot ceilings. Okay, judge me, Mr. 12-foot ceiling. So I don't know what to do. I get a broom. That's logical. And then I have a plan. So I'm standing in my underwear. So if you can picture me just in my underwear. Hanes, white. Stomach hanging over the elastic just a little bit. Got the picture? Okay, so I'm in the bedroom, 10:30 with the broom, and I shoved the fucking broom into the spider, and the bristles are piercing, even though the spider is this big. Every 1,000 bristles, I don't know how many fucking bristles are in a broom, but every one of them are penetrating that demon fucking spider, and I pull it down really slow, because if it falls, and it's behind the bed and it's not dead, it will kill you. It will, because it knows what you look like. Or it's going to, so I pull the broom down real slow to take a look to see if the fucking thing is on the broom because I didn't see it fall. And my wife comes up behind me after 5 years of marriage and she goes, ah! And I shit my pants. or my underwear. I didn't have pants on. And there is nothing that will ruin a relationship faster than making your spouse shit themselves. At that moment, I discovered something deep and dark within me. And my wife also discovered something deep and dark within me. I was on a mission to destroy a spider, and I ruined our sex life, marriage, friendship, just by simply shitting my pants. You're not the man I fell in love with. I'm sorry. We're going to have to end this relationship. I mean, how's that going to look in divorce court? Yeah, what are you going to tell the judge, you know? Yeah. Okay, well, Your Honor, my client wants the bed sheets, the broom, and $10,000 a week. My biggest fear is silence. I can't stand silence. You know the silent killer? You ever hear about that? Man, blood pressure, the silent killer. You know what it is? Silence is the killer for me. So I can't shut up, and I can't stop trying to be funny all the time. And for that reason, I've had people want to kick my ass. And that doesn't even make fucking sense, you know? You see a guy trying to be funny all the time, and you're like, okay, maybe annoying, but you've got to make a conscious decision to go, you know what? I'm going to fuck that guy up. Well, what did he do? Did he say something about your sister, mom? No, look at him. He thinks he's fucking funny all the time. Gonna have to beat the shit out of him. Doesn't make sense. I'm just saying because that happened to me. He didn't beat the shit out of me because a lot of other people around him, well, they thought I was funny. They beat his ass. Thank God I was funny at the moment, but I'm not funny all the time. My wife always asks, how do you get on stage, talk to a bunch of strangers, and try to be funny? See, to her, I'm trying to be funny. I'm not funny all the time. I just try. That's a sickness. That's a disability. Can't beat the shit out of people because they're disabled, trying to be funny all the time. It's like going up to an autistic kid, seeing he's autistic. Obviously, I don't know, maybe he's just shouting shit real loud, and you're like, fuck him. I'm going to beat the shit out of him, thinking he's all special. So yeah, it's a disability. You can't be funny all the time. It's impossible. What am I going to get, like $1,500 a month for disability? How do you explain that to people? Why aren't you working? Well, he thinks he's funny all the time. That's why he's not working. Really? He's kind of funny. Yeah, but he thinks he's funny all the time. Oh, shit, that must be a horrible existence. Well, guess what? It is. It's a fucking horrible existence. How you think? One of the reasons I got divorced 4 times is because you think you're funny all the time. And it comes up during everything. Your disability comes up. So you say something to your wife during an argument. What's the next thing out of her mouth? Oh, so you think you're funny? You think you're being funny? I don't know what we're arguing about. We never do. I don't want to think I'm funny all the time. Certain people you cannot be funny around, regardless if you are funny. If you hit somebody with a side joke that they weren't expecting, and you weren't expecting to be funny, but they found you funny, then that's a bonus right there. The only people you can do that to is your kids, because they don't find you funny. They just find you embarrassing. You know, it doesn't even matter if you said something made everybody laugh. That's embarrassing to kids. Oh my God, I can't believe he's trying to be funny again. That's the hardest thing to explain to, I guess, your kids in school. What's your dad do? He tries to be funny. He's a comedian? Yeah. I guess that's a title, huh? Title. What's your job description? Try to be funny all the time. You know what I think is funny? Is when my friends, the comedians or actors that they don't want to play certain roles, maybe. I don't know if it's certain. Here's the thing. My biggest fear is I don't want to get typecast. Really? So you don't want to play a sheriff in a show and then people look at you as the sheriff all the time? You're afraid of being typecast? It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. You're already typecast in life. You know, people already see you as a dad, married 3 times, in a house with a yard. You're doing the same shit every day. Waking up, putting your shoes on, eating your Raisin Bran. I'm sure you got a favorite cereal, or oatmeal with it. And you're doing things the same every single day in your routine. You're already typecast. What's your fear of being typecast the way other people may see? I'd love to be typecast. I take that back. I mean, I guess there are certain typecasts that I wouldn't want to be. One person I wouldn't want to be is my mom. And that just, because I don't know, when I say that, because I'm thinking to myself, one, I would hate to be coming out of my own vagina. I don't even know if that's possible. You're so fucking dumb. That's not possible. You think it's possible. I don't even know why I use the word think in there. Gee, I'd hate to be my mom. I remember what she said once that made me realize probably wouldn't want to be her is, I think she said, I wish you were never born. I could be wrong about that. But I think she said it because when she realized how messed up I really was, she was like, shit, I created that. I wish I didn't create something so fucked up. I wish I didn't create something. I created a mistake. But not like a mistake, like you want a child, but not that particular child. You know, and that's something you can't bring up like casually. That's something you bring up like when you're just like, holy shit, oh my God, I wish I never had that kid, kind of thing. It's not something like you're at the dinner party with the neighbors and they're like, oh, gosh, Daniel's doing so good. He's such a good boy. And you're like, he's not everything we expected though, We kind of wish we never had him. Can I refill your drink? That's not the kind of way people say that. Now, here's a guy I wouldn't want to be. I was walking through a parking lot and I saw a brand new BMW in a handicapped parking space. That guy. The license plate said, I prayed. Well, you prayed and got yourself a brand new BMW. That would suck to be that guy. I want to be the guy that prayed not to be handicapped and could walk without a fucking limp or had to park 40 more feet away. That's the guy I want to be. Is that even possible to pray for some shit? You were in an accident and you're just all, you may live, but you're coming out all fucked up. And you're just laying there like, God, fuck, this ain't gonna be good. I'm guessing that's how you talk and imagine the blood. I don't know, maybe you fell off a ladder. Shit, you were running with the bulls. I have no idea what the fuck you were doing to get all messed up. Maybe you were trying to cross the street and the light was, or you were in London looking the wrong way. I don't fucking know. That doesn't even matter. But you're laying there, oh God, and you're like, Jesus Christ, at least I should be driving a new BMW, And then bam, you got a new BMW, and you're all fucking like, shit, I didn't know it'd work. I mean, I would have prayed to be able to, come through this and be normal, but fucking BMW slipped out of your mouth, and that's what you got. Park at Winn-Dixie in the handicap zone. And you know what? That parking lot is always empty. You can always find a parking space right next to the handicap parking space. So you got screwed. You're screwed. I'd hate to be that guy. Thanks, God. I don't want to get older. I don't feel like I'm getting older. I guess a lot of people don't feel like they're getting older. That's why they wear, like, stuff a 15-year-old would wear and they're 50. Those people. Or they're riding a skateboard and they're, like, no reason they should be on a skateboard. Well, I look in the mirror and I look and I say, man, I'm getting old. I was talking to my aunt who is 93, And she goes, can I tell you a secret? I said, yeah. She says, I'm 93 years old. I don't feel any different than when I was 16. I was like, that's gotta suck. When you were 16, you felt like you were 93? There's a punchline somewhere in there, and you're gonna have to formulate it in your own head, but the shit was funny at 3 o'clock in the morning, right before I was going to sleep. So, I still know it's funny. To me and you. People that have drug experiences or have experiences with drugs, a lot of people went through like an experimental stage. I didn't go through an experimental stage. Like the first time I did cocaine, and this is what I love when people say, well, you did it, it's your fault, you're the one, did somebody, put a gun to your head and make you do the cocaine? Is that what happened? So I'm hanging out with this guy who I don't really know because he's a friend of another friend, and my friend leaves, so I'm stuck with his friend. That's where I'm at. And I'm hanging out with him. I don't know the guy, but he's got a Corvette, and I'm 20, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. I'm hanging out with the guy in a Corvette, and we're driving around, and people are like, look at the guy in the Corvette. Now, it would, be like, look at the old guy in the Corvette. So back then, it was really cool. So we go to a party, we go to a bar, we end up I don't know if it's his friend's house. I don't think it's his friend. I'm going to go ahead and jump out on a limb here and say dealer. It was his dealer's house. So it wasn't even a house. It was a trailer in the middle of nowhere, 2 o'clock in the morning. And we get in, and he goes, yeah, let me get a whatever. And I'm really not paying attention because I'm half drunk. And the guy's on the table cutting up this Coke, and he's cutting it up, and he goes, who are you? And I'm like, I'm just a guy. I'm just with him. And he goes, you're not a cop, are you? I'm like, why the fuck would I be a cop? Which it kind of makes sense because that would be a good reason for a bust. But I'm not a cop. I'm a 20-year-old kid, just happens to be with somebody I don't really know. So he goes, you got to do a line. Just make sure I know you're not a cop. And now I'm like, man, no, I'm good, man. I'm not a cop. I'm not going to do a line either. And then he reaches under the sofa and pulls out this 38 snub nose and goes, you are going to have to do a fucking line so I know you're not a cop. So, man, I just snorted I just did the line, but you know what? Yes, he put a fucking gun to my head. So that was my experience. So anybody that says, what do they put a gun to your head? Is that what happened? So that they put a gun to your head? Yes. And I did the coke. And it was, you know what? The adrenaline that was going through my body at the time somebody has a gun at you saying, do the cocaine, is more intense than if it was the high-grade cocaine shit, which I'm sure was probably baby aspirin and baking soda, toothpaste, what a powdered shaving cream. I don't know what they put in that shit. I just know my nose was numb and my adrenaline was going, my heart was pumping. But you know what? It was pumping that fast when the gun came out. I can accurately say that cocaine has no effect on me. Pulling a gun on me, making me do cocaine, has a huge effect on me. So I hope you can take my story and not get a gun to you. Is there a moral here? Shit. Don't hang out with people in Corvettes that are your friend's friend. Moral of the story. Whew. Man, I heard of tough crowds, but I don't do impressions. I do one impression of a really bad impressionist. You got to go with me on this one, okay? Luke, I'm your daddy. No. Shit, then, a bad impressionist. Yeah, okay. That was terrible. That was the point, Jesus, now you're telling me how bad I'm at impressions. I can't even get the words out to heckle people, Can't even insult the audience. That shit's really funny. Now I'm just begging you. It's still funny. But people don't want to know how great you do as a comedian. They're not like, man, let me hear about the greatest show you've ever did and how hard they applaud, the biggest time. They all want to hear the worst shit, like a car wreck. You know, drive by traffic. Look at that traffic. It's crazy. You want to see the damage and the carnage left behind, and that's what people want to know. They want to know, how bad was the worst show you've ever done? Really? I don't know. Maybe out of 10,000 shows, half of them sucked. But that's all we want to hear. Christmas Eve, 5 p.m., eating dinner, phone rings. Need you at the casino. Great. Another casino. It's going to be a great show. Christmas Eve. And then he mentions just an obscene amount of money. And for some reason, that obscene amount of money kind of justified knowing that this was going to be one of the worst shows ever. Or maybe because I already had in my mind, this show is going to suck. And people say, well, you had that frame. No, this show sucked, but I was going to do it for the money. And is that wrong? I know you're not going to laugh. I know I'm going to feel shitty afterwards, but you know what? Maybe that's how prostitutes feel. Yeah, that's how they feel, I'm sure. I'm not sure. So I tell my wife, and she's like, I'll go with you because it's Christmas Eve. And I'm like, I don't want you to go with me. This is going to be fucking horrible, and you have to watch the whole thing. And I'm just, because it's just going to be you and me and probably 10 other people, which I was a little off. There were 12. Drunk in a casino in there because they spent all their money that they probably should have saved and give to their kids or whatever for Christmas. But no, they were just drunken, smoking, 7 people in the comedy club. That's what they called it. It was the other buffet room that they closed off just for the special night of comedy. I mean, I don't even have a name. I'm not even famous. They're just like going in there to sit down, get a couple free drinks, and to watch this guy just destroy himself with all of his talent. But anybody would have done it. See, you would have done the show for the same amount of money, and you say no, but you know what that makes you? A fucking liar. Not just a liar, because I did it for the money. You would do it for the money, too. Probably even less, because you just seem a little more desperate than I am. But you're not even saying why you wouldn't do the show. You're wrong. You know why you wouldn't do the show, and you're not saying it, right? Just fucking say why you wouldn't do the show. Because honestly, I think if it was presented to you, you would. And you can't admit that. You're like, I'm too good for the money. I'm too good for the show. They don't need me. Give me twice as much. That's bullshit. It doesn't even matter. Because you know, regardless, you're going to suck. The show's going to suck. You know it. That's why you wouldn't do it, because you're afraid. I did it because I'm okay with sucking. That's, I guess. I'm more comfortable with being a piece of shit and people not laughing while you're trying to be funny, and you have too much pride knowing that people aren't going to laugh, and you're going to be all like, well, at least I know I don't need that money, and I'm too afraid to do the show. I'm not. I did the show. Heckled. Best thing during that you can do, best case scenario, heckle yourself. And they can't touch you. Talk about what a piece of shit you are already, then nothing can affect you when they're like, Jesus Christ, he's just as low as we are. He's here at the casino, Christmas Eve. That's my impression of somebody drunk, I guess. Is that how mad I was? Is that what I was all upset about? Because you couldn't admit that you wouldn't do the show, and I know you would, but not for the same reasons. You wouldn't do it because you were afraid. And that makes me better? Just making that a better person. How are you a better person? Well, I risked my ego. Okay. Puts you somewhere in the line of courage. I guess the same people that go to war. You wouldn't go to war and you know they pay you. Yeah. That's basically what it is, right? War. And you're going to get scarred and hurt. How you really comparing comedy to war? Like, you're a veteran and you're looking at me like, really? You're right. Comedy's not like war. I'm not going to do a shitty show and roll out of the hospital 6 months later with no fucking legs. You got me on that one. Comedy's more like, see if I can describe comedy. More, I guess, a battle within. Does that make sense? Wait a minute. Is that a fucking train? You know what I got pissed about? This is like anger created within your own head about something that never happened, but you anticipated, and you were angry about it. And since it never happened, and years gone by, you were angry at nothing. And now that that didn't happen, that same anger is now reflected to yourself. When I got married, 4 stepkids. I don't have any kids. I'm like, don't want any kids because I know who I am as a person. Don't want to recreate that in any form or fashion. Why would I contribute to the world population of people that aren't wanted? Even if I wanted to have a kid, it just seems like a selfish shit thing to do. So if you enter a family of 5 and you're number 6, probably know you're not going to be the alpha dog. And if you are, you decide to be the head of that family, you pretty much put the crown on your head of being the king dick. That's what you are, an asshole now that you've come into our family unit of 5, 4 kids and a mother without a father, and you come in trying to, now I know how to run this thing. That ain't happening. But my biggest fear was always to hear, because I knew I was going to hear it. I did. I'm going to get pissed. You didn't do the fucking dishes, and I'm going to hear, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad. Fucking real dad. You're not my real dad. But I'm real. And I always thought how I'd react to that. Because I always saw a hand coming back. I'll show you real. You know, like you replay that in your head. How is it going to affect you? And it makes you mad just thinking about it. And then you do your teeth like this. The thing is, in 15 years, none of them said that. I prepared myself. Every time something, I'm like, they're going to say it. And they never did. So I had all this anger I couldn't fucking unleash on the scenario I thought was going to happen. So turn it back on myself. And then once you become angry at yourself, it's hard to forgive yourself, right? Sound like a preacher. What the fuck happened to that guy? Man, his whole life he was with his new family. He's got 4 stepkids, and he was always waiting to hear one of them say, "You're not my real dad." You know, that can drive you to drink or self-destruct. Oh, God, how many times they say it? Never did. Fucking never did. So, joke's on him. I don't know how he's going to work that out in rehab. I think that's more like a 30-step program. Not really. It's more like a 2-step program. What happened? I thought they were going to say they're not my real dad. Did they? No. Fucking dumbass. Get out. You're healed. You know, it should be that simple. But it's not. Never is it? The one thing that is unacceptable to me is when my stepkids disrespect their mother. See, it's okay if they do it to me. It's natural, right? I mean, just beanbag. That's what he's there for, is your stepdad. Treat him like shit, disrespect him. But when they disrespect her, that's when I get pissed off. They got those looks, those teenage looks like, knock the shit out of somebody for the, dude, I'm better than, smarter than you. I was never that way. If I was, I don't remember. So I tried talking to him like an adult, at least one of them that I think could handle it. Because she's 18 now, you know? Like, you're going to be out of the house in 2 months. Just try to pull your shit together, maybe not be so arrogant, be respectful to your mom. Just do what she says. You got 2 months, then you can do whatever you want in life. Do all the shit you'll never tell us about, which is fine. I don't want to hear about it. I don't know what you did already, and I don't want to hear about it. Just be respectful to your mom. You'll be out of here. That's not too much to ask, is it? It's normal, right? So then my wife comes to me hours later. She says, you guys had a real big fight. It's a big fight? We didn't have a fucking fight. We basically told her she's grown, do what she wants to do. Well, she's not even living here, and she's like leaving. See, when I was a kid, and I'm like, you know, my parents laid it down. You don't like it? Then get the fuck out of my house. And so when I got out of the house, I'd take my $150 car and sleep in a parking lot till the cops came and made me move, not have the fucking option to go live with one of my millionaire friends' family or my dad who has goddamn property all over the world. But at least I was cool about it. But if you do get pissed at one time, you can always say to the other person that you had that discussion with, okay, everything's cool. And then when you repeat that situation, you can go, man, they were flipping out and going crazy on me. Because you flipped out and went crazy one other fucking time, then it'll be believable. So no matter how cool and calm and collected you are in delivering your, I like to use the word fatherly advice. Nobody gave me that term. I made that shit up myself. Nobody was like, give them fatherly advice. Give them fatherly advice, and what happens? They shit on you. So I think that's actually worse than going, you're not my dad. I think they're going behind your back going, he's not my dad. I think the most absurd thing I heard was, you don't have the right to tell me what to do because you don't believe in God. I don't know what that means. That doesn't even sound like, is that a response to something? Look, you need to grow up and be an adult and take care of yourself and start making decisions and quit relying on your family for bullshit. You don't have a right to tell me what to do. You don't even believe in God. That is a ridiculous, incorrect response to what I said. So my incorrect, ridiculous response to what she said was to kick the shit around me, break a few things, you know, chairs, yank out the refrigerator shit, kick doors, and then you realize what you did was pretty destructive, I think is a good word. But it hurts everybody around you, pretty much scars everybody for life. So now when anything arises, you can't be trusted to have a conversation because they're afraid you might do that shit again, which it might. That's true. It might happen. And I think we love it too. We love to hear about shit that happens in people's family. Tell me what happened. Your dad threw your school books at you? Shut the fuck up. What happened? You said you did bad on a test, so he hit you in the head with a book? Fuck, that's awesome. In your head, that's awesome. God, that never happens to me. What happened? My dad went nuts. What'd he do? Oh, he was like, you know, I'm not cooking that favorite dish of yours. You know, we're going to have frozen dinner, not pizza like you like. Yeah, that's torturous. But that's real for some people. Yeah, but for me, it's completely different. You do something bad to me, then you're done. You're right, you made a good decision. Move along. Fuck off. But if that's your family, then people are like, oh, you're a really bad person. See how you alienate everybody? But that's the way it is, right? Somebody pisses you off, and you're like, Kate, that's fine, fuck off. And they're like, I can't believe that. He just went nuts. I mean, you add a few things and colorful phrases. In the end, if you want to rectify situations with your family or friends about what a fucked up person you are, always tell them you got help and you're on medication now, because that's always justifiable. If you flip out and it's, call the cops, he's going crazy, might hurt somebody. If you're like, well, hey, now I'm taking medicine and everything's okay, I'm a better person. Oh, God, thank God he's a better person. And he's taking medicine now. It has side effects. What is the side effect? Rage. Oh, shit. Now there's a reason behind that. Oh, well, he gets fucking crazy. But it's okay because it's the medication. Yeah, I know. Look, he needed it because he was going crazy. But now that he's on it, he's better. But sometimes it makes him crazy, and that all logically makes sense to stay with somebody and to forgive them for all of their actions. So, moral of the story, hurt the fucking people around you that you love. Apologize. Tell them you were wrong, you need help and medication, and the next time you do it, say, I'm sorry, I'm sick. It was the medication. Did you take your medicine? I did. I took my medicine. Kid got a 34 on her SAT, can pretty much get a free ride to any Ivy League school. Intelligent, wants to be just smart and rich, which she's got every opportunity to do so. And one thing she said to me and my wife was, I want to find somebody that is happy as you and Mom in the world. That's all I want. I want that kind of happiness. And then that's when I realized, God, she is dumb. Dumb as shit. Well, that's what she looks at as happiness, is me and my wife. Think we're happy when we're alone, but she doesn't see that happiness. I don't mean alone like that kind of alone. I mean like, when you're by yourself and not by yourself, when you're with the other person, by yourself. When you're by yourselves, Jesus Christ. Could you add an S on the end of self? No, that's a V. You know what? I'm about done with this grammar class. That's what people want, though, right? That ultimate happiness. I want to be with somebody and be happy. That's bullshit. What you want is somebody to be miserable with. Hey, you got what you wanted. I love that saying. What did I want? Well, you got it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Wanted happiness. Really, if you wanted everything you have and you've got everything you want, how come you're so miserable? Because you hate yourself. I know it's not just me. I can look into the eyes of every person and see the hate they have within themselves. They all have to look in the mirror every single day and go, man, somewhere deep down in there, I suck. And some people don't even have to look deep down in. They just look at themselves like, I suck. When did you realize you were a piece of shit? When I was 6? How'd you do that? I don't know. I'm just probably told by somebody. That was the way it was interpreted. You're a piece of shit. I can't believe she called me a piece of shit. I'm only 6. Well, what she actually said was just try harder. How did you get that? You need to try harder. Oh, I'm a piece of shit. So basically, our own failing and demise and problems and troublematic is our own minds and doings. So when we tell somebody something of how fucked up it is, might just be the way it was interpreted at the time. It might have come out like, I can't fucking believe she did that. What happened? What'd she do? Because that's our response to our friends. Like, fuck her. What happened? What they shake. What happened? What did they do? Told me if I don't like it, I can get out. We like what? I don't know. I didn't, you know. She was telling me what a piece of shit I was, and low life, tattooed, and cursing all the time. And I don't like it. If you don't like it, you can get out. Fuck her. I'm leaving. Really? No. Just going to go for a ride, sit in the car for a couple hours. And then what? I ain't got anywhere else to go. I guess I'm going home. Yeah, but see, what really transpired was probably sitting at the dinner table, and I'm like, that's a bunch of shit. And she was like, I really don't like when you use that language. And I'm like, what the fucking fuck? And then it just, but what was interpreted was, you're a piece of shit. Only low-life dirt bags use language like that. And then when you go to places like, church or your friend's, Super Bowl party, I don't like football. I don't watch football. Friends are like, hey, come over for the Super Bowl. We're going to watch football. I'm like, I hate this shit. This is fuck. I don't want to be around these people. But they do have some good food. So I go and, socialize. Hey, this is a good time. We'll walk out the door. I'm like, God, it's fucking miserable. So glad to be leaving. How many people do that? Everybody. It doesn't matter whether it's in church, your best friend's house, everybody. And then that kind of sucks the way about you feel. You're like, oh, man. So now that you know everybody does that, next time you go to a party or church or you go see somebody, and you're like, man, people don't do that to me. Yes, they do. They hate you just as bad as you hate yourself. So that's what you can expect. Next time you leave a nice environment where people are like, oh, God, they're just going to be like, oh, how miserable was that? And even if you did have a good time and you walk away, people are happy you left. God, that put a damper on things, didn't it? I remember my mom said, if anybody hurts you, you hurt them back and hurt them twice as hard. And I was like, yeah, to me, that's crazy. I ain't hurt somebody. I can't do that. But my dad, he was not crazy. But some people might think he's crazy. My mom's like, somebody hurt you? Hurt him back. I thought that was crazy. My dad's like, somebody hurt you? Pay somebody and have them hurt them worse. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, you might be like, that's crazy. Not crazy to me. Why am I going to get in a fight? Wait a minute. That's what attorneys do. Somebody hurts you and you're like, fuck it, I'm getting an attorney. And then the attorney hurts you back worse. Okay, I answered my own question. We love to hurt people back. We love to sue them. I'm going to sue you. You sue somebody over anything. What are you suing them for? Being different? I mean, I've heard of worse shit, I think you can sue somebody for being stupid. Or what about this? I sued the Catholic private school system for not making my kids smarter. And won. My kid started in the 7th grade, graduated, dumb as hell. Now I'm richer. What am I going to spend it on? Probably some dumb shit. Makes me dumb. I want to sue myself. That's what I want to do. I want to find out how much money I can get out of me. Is that possible? What happened? Well, I hurt myself. And I think I'm a piece of shit. And I'm tired of me doing that to me. And I'm suing. What are you suing for? Well, all the hospitalization and medication I have to take for being all horrible. And if I win, what do I get? They say an illness is like when you're sick and you like being sick and you like the attention from being sick, and then you make yourself sick. Isn't that the way all of us, we do that all the time anyway, right? You're like, no, I live healthy. No, you don't live a healthy life. You try to make some. I go to McDonald's, I eat some shit, and then, we go and I got a pack of cigarettes. on the way home, and then, cancer, colon, heart, brain. What? Shit, you're going to die. Oh, God. And then people are like, oh, he's so sorry. And then you're like, I didn't want this to happen, but you made it happen. So we're all sick, right? So next time you eat a Little Debbie, and be like, oh, God, I'm making myself sick. I must love being sick, and I love the attention from people making myself sick, and Little Debbie's going to sue me. How shitty would that be? What happened? He lost everything. From what? Little Debbie sued him. He's talking shit about Little Debbie. He said they taste like shit, and they look like turds, and people eat them because they want to be sick. Well, what are they going to do to him? They're going to make him eat them. It's good punishment. Eat Little Debbie's. Who else would it suck to be sued by? I think it'd suck to be sued by a church. I don't know what you would have to do to a church to get sued by a church, but I think that would be funny. What happened to him? Oh, he's getting sued. By what? By who? The church. Holy shit. You don't even have to ask what happened to that person. What did that person do? Doesn't matter. Fucking church is suing you. Whew. Yeah, not like not believing in Christ is bad enough because you're going to hell. But on top of that, whatever else you did, church is taking your money and suing you. That's a sucky day for you. And you know they have good lawyers. Represented by God. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be sued by the church, then you have to prove that God exists. They have to prove God exists. What are you going to do? Put them on a witness stand? Be like, hey, our next witness, you'll just have to believe or die. I don't know how that's going to work. I guess it's like prison. You don't have to believe. It's just you're going to be force-fed. You go to prison, you're probably getting raped. And I don't think going, hey, fellas, look, I know this is normal and this is what you guys do, but I don't really believe in it. So you guys have your way with whoever you want. I don't think that's I think you're gonna be force-fed that religion. When I was 7, I know this because I was 7, because I was thinking about it really hard. I thought, what happens if I'm convicted of a crime I didn't commit? And I know I didn't commit that crime, so I had to run from the law. I had to change towns and change names. And as I got older, I'm like, why? What would cause a 7-year-old straight D student to think such crazy shit? And I'm thinking too much Incredible Hulk, probably. But I'd end up in prison. They'd catch me. I'd end up in San Quentin. Roughest prison in the United States, I guess. I don't know. I think I saw it on an HBO documentary, which my parents didn't filter what we watched then. God, it's so cool to be a nerd now. Yeah, I wish I knew that when I was a kid. Be like, it'll be all right. You won't get your ass kicked forever. Now I went from, you can't even relate. I understand. I get it. I was a nerd when I was a kid too. Yeah, it was different then because they beat the shit out of you. And now as an adult, I'm just a dick. That's how it turns out. You be cool and smart forever. They'll make TV shows about you. I'll be a bitter fuck old man. How about that? Does that work for you? Go to your room. No TV. That's kind of the scenario. Daily life for me. But it's not just me, right? We're all there. You do it, right? You're shaking your head like, no, I'm never a dick. Yeah, you are. Being one right now, but not agreeing with me. If you were not a dick, you'd be like, yeah, I'm that too. We're all assholes every once in a while. I'm just looking for some reassurance. What's the word I'm looking for? Reassurance, looking for some camaraderie. You know what comes with old? Not that I'm old or elderly or, I think I look really good for 75. 75. Shit. Say I always go up and then I look better. Oh God, man, he does look good for 75. So for 44, I think I'm doing all right. I mean, I don't need Viagra. You know, I don't have any major health issues besides heart, lungs, you know, but nothing major other than that. But here's the thing. I'm married. You expect your wife to support you as you age. Do not get that shit from my wife. No support whatsoever. So I'm walking around naked as I do. I don't know, maybe I'm about to shave. I shave naked. Maybe I'm about to take a shower. I don't know. I look down and I realize my balls are getting longer. You know what I mean? They're kind of drooping on down. I know you're thinking, oh, it's another droopy ball joke. No, I mean, I'm saying my balls, they appeared to be. I don't know if they were or not. I called my brother. I'm like, hey, man, we're close, right? Are your balls getting any lower? Are they kind of sagging? Because I think mine are. He goes, they might be. So I checked with my wife, last person you want to check with for any reassurance. Because even if the shit was true, you would expect to be like, no, baby, you're fine. I say, honey, I think my balls are getting longer. She goes, yeah, probably either that or your dick's getting shorter. Really? Seriously? Getting shorter? I hope my balls are getting longer. I don't need that short dick syndrome. How do you tell that to the doctor? It's a physical exam. Do that during the prostate exam. He's like, bend over, this is uncomfortable. Hey, doctor, my balls getting any longer? Well, the last time we checked, it looked like, yep. Now, did you shave last time you were here? Because, you know, pubic hair does tend to make your balls look longer. You know, I'm saying that like I actually had a conversation with my doctor about that. He's like, shit, that ain't funny. But you know what? He is really telling the truth. He talked, and his doctor mentioned his pubic hair. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You know, a topic of conversation is going to suck, or it's going to be so self-centered you're not going to give a shit when somebody starts off with, you know, maybe it's just me. You know, it probably is. The end. How about that? I always wonder myself, as I got older, did I get more negative, or have I always been this negative? And you know what? Let me just start over. So my friend had to get a new battery for his car because his car broke down. And he was like, had to get jumper cables. So he takes the situation and instead of bitching about it, turns it into something positive. You know what I mean? He was like, well, you know, I was running late, and then the battery died, and I realized, you know what? I guess I got time. You know, I mean, it's not my fault. He looked at it the way the universe made it happen for a reason, and he accepted it. And everything I do is negative. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with gut pain, like a knife is going through. I'm waking up thinking I'm being murdered. And I'm trying to go to the bathroom, and I'm double over, I'm sweating. I don't know what's happening. And you know, is it God punishing me for all my sins? Is it the devil? And then it hits me that no, that's not it at all. It's that extra large banana split cookie cream crunch milkshake I got. That's why I have a stomach ache. It has nothing to do with the big picture of how the universe works. I just got bad diet habits. So the choices are either live with and accept excruciating gut pain, or give up milk. Give up dairy. You're lactose intolerant. You can't have it anymore. And that is probably one of the hardest things I had to deal with in life. You're like, shit, you haven't been through much. Yes, I have. And you know what? Giving up milk sucks. It's a part of me. It's like a veteran coming home from war with no legs and having to roll around in a wheelchair the rest of his life. That might have been a terrible analogy. You know what? I take that back. That was a terrible analogy. My point is, milk is a part of me like that dude's legs were a part of him. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to say, I love milk. See, that's a point where you can use profanity and it'll sound all weird. Like I'm trying to tell, I love milk. Add profanity and it sounds weird. I love fucking milk. You can't put like fucking in front of any type of food. You know, I love fucking beef. Really? That's fucking weird is what that is. You know, a lot you can do with profanity, people don't know how to use it properly. I used profanity wrong and it came back and it hurt my feelings. I woke up, I put my favorite shirt on and I looked at it, and it always helps if you want to kick your own ass to have a wife around because they'll just help you with it. I look at the shirt and I go, damn honey, there's a big asshole in this shirt. And she said, yep. There is a big asshole in that shirt. You know, and then she turned into Bill Cosby and started eating pudding and shit. But what I got was there's a big asshole in this shirt and I was the asshole in it. And I, you know, now she's funnier than me while she's making fun of me. Shit is unacceptable and grounds for divorce. I guess that's where comedy is, making fun of people or yourself and then offending people for making fun of other people or yourself. You talk about how fat you are and people are like, oh, fuck you, I'm fat and I take offense to that. Can't even make fun of yourself without somebody getting offended. I'm dumb as shit. Hey, I got family that's dumb as shit and I get offended. And their head bobs like that. God damn it, I got fat. Oh shit, he did not just go there. No, he didn't go there. He just he thought about it and then he didn't, so. I think profanity is overused. That's what I'm told all the time. Like, I think you should, like, if you want to describe something, how great it is or how bad it is, use profanity, you know? I'd be like, I do not fucking believe what you just said. And usually the response is, well, it's the Bible and we'd appreciate if you calm down during the service. I'm just kidding. I never say that stuff in church. Would y'all like to see that at least once in your life? Okay, just making sure because I had to make sure like I wasn't the one completely out of line because I stood up and said that. See, I had to find out if like, because everybody's like, I can't believe you said that. Who gets kicked out of church? You're no longer welcome here. Man, the devil's welcome in church. And you say fuck out loud one time, you know, maybe you're sleeping and dozing. And, you know, like when you're on the verge of sleeping because it's so boring. You know, you don't tell me you haven't nodded in church and you're like, the fuck is that shit? You know, that happens, right? And they're like, appreciate it if you never come back because you snap awake with profanity. I don't know who does that. How about everybody who is maybe not that stable? My first wife, what a bitch. Who doesn't start off a sentence like that? My first wife, God, she was awesome. What happened? Unless you're a real dick. Well, you know, I did something and she left me. This is the most amazing thing I actually heard this from somebody. I'm not describing him as like toothless redneck or, you know, whatever. That doesn't have anything to do with it. It kind of does, but hey, can he talk like this, you know? And he was talking about his first wife, and I thought it was kind of funny because he was like, man, she was a bitch, you know? And I said, hey, well, why don't you elaborate on that? And, well, I mean, why was she a bitch, man? I want to hear the story. Well, she didn't even graduate from high school, and I tried to teach her all this stuff, and once I learned her to a certain level, she got all fucking smart and left me. She got smart and left you. Yeah, because I made her that way. Holy shit. That is low self-esteem and just, you know you're a piece of shit when you teach somebody and you make them smart enough to know they don't want to be with you anymore. You know, and that's not a good thing to say to women, guys. Just to let you know, if you're having a bad day and you having low self-esteem, and this isn't some kind of therapy session for you, I'm just letting you know this is the truth. Just pretend like I got a Bible in my hand and I'm telling you the truth and law. Do not ever, if you're feeling shitty about yourself, say out loud to your wife or girlfriend, man, I'm a piece of shit. You deserve better than me. Because I'm not saying she does, but if she does, she probably will. And then you'll be like, what the fuck? So basically I'm saying keep your mouth shut about what a piece of shit you are and your wife won't leave you. I guess that's a message behind that. I'm not a relationship expert. I know a lot of people like, I don't know, some people like, oh my God, you got to tell us how you met. Yeah, I don't give a shit how you met and how in love you are. What? You got divorced. She broke up with you. She left. That's the shit I want to hear. It's more interesting, you know? I like to think back and think of all the shitty decisions I made that I thought were good at the time, like my first 2 marriages. Like they're completely different. Like for one, I was in a gentleman's club and she was entertaining because I'm not a guy that goes into a strip club to look at naked chicks, shake their tits all over the place. I'm a gentleman that goes into a gentleman's club to admire the shape of a woman's body. Just didn't want to get you into any wrong impression about me or my ex-wife. So she was a stripper, and I fell in love with her like right when we made eye contact. You know when you got $1 in your hand and you're like, God, look at that. Just do not look at, because I just want to keep her dancing. And then we made that eye contact, and there was something beautiful there. And you know it's love, you know? Because I couldn't stop staring at her. Eyes were just blue and gorgeous. And it was just like we were making that eye contact. It seemed like hours. And that's when I knew it was love. I know it's love because I was looking in her eyes and her ass was naked. That's how I know it's love. The eyes, her teeth were all fucked up. But that's not the point. That's later. I couldn't tell it was dark. She was really pretty. And later on, you think to yourself, what do I have to offer? Something. Man, I just had a flashback of a real thing. I thought my chances of being with her were slim because look at me. What do I have to offer somebody that great in life? Then she leaned over and whispered over the music, hey, can you watch my kids? They're in the back of the club in the station wagon. I'm like, shit, this is my opportunity. I'm the knight in shining armor. Take care of this woman and her 4 kids while she's stripping. That's love. It didn't work out though. Because of her teeth, they were all jacked up. And that's what happened. Every day I started noticing those teeth more and more. Kind of overshadowed those beautiful blue eyes of hers. I had to leave. I know that sounds pretty shallow, but I just couldn't deal with it. So I left. God, that wouldn't be funny if it wasn't true. And then that's when you look at somebody and go, Jesus Christ. That is an all new shallow I've never heard. Why'd you get with her to begin with? She had pretty eyes and there was a reason. All you need is a reason to be with somebody. Hey, I got 4 kids in a station wagon. I'll watch them. I don't know why. Somebody will jump to that task. You ask a group full of people the most absurd shit in the world. You got a single mom. She's a drug addict. They can't get welfare. One of the kids is handicapped. Somebody be like, I'll fix it. And maybe they do fix it. I'm not good enough to fix that shit. As hard as I tried, you got to start with your teeth, then work on your drug habit. That sounded logical to me, Teeth, intervention, kids, malnutrition, let's get them some, pudding or meal. I don't know. I don't know what poor kids eat. How about nothing? Okay, that's just a little reminder of myself. Hey, kicking my ass again. That's what I'm great at. I am great at kicking my ass. It's like I pick a fight with myself every fucking day. Because you got to look in the mirror, and when you see the reflection, you don't like who you see. Doesn't that fucking piss you off? So I wake up and I'm like, yeah, this is a great day. I'm walking in and got shit, jump on the scale, and I'm like 10 pounds lighter for I don't know why. And then I walk up and I go to brush my teeth and I'm like, fuck, there he is. Got to look in the mirror. I know you guys probably do too. That's why we get along so well. Whew. At least we know we're friends like down the road if we met, be like, yeah, we got so much in common. That's what I like too. I like people to come up to me after a show and be like, you know, I got a lot out of you kicking your ass. You know, I can really fuck off, man. I hate myself. Why do you think I would like you? 3 wives. How did that happen? Let's see. First wife wanted a family. I didn't want a family, so she's gone. Second wife thought she could save me. Nah, I got nothing on my second one. It's really bad. You know, I want it to be more, but it's like, you know. Yeah, people say that. Because making shit up about why something ended is so much more interesting than why it ended. So people be like, whoa, what happened? I mean, y'all got divorced. I mean, shit, she was Mormon and from Utah. And I mean, you know, you're a stand-up guy, pun intended. So, I mean, what happened? I mean, you guys are like ready to have a family and shit. And you know, I'm just like, that bitch cheated on me. You know, you can't trust her. You know, she had this facade, and you know, it's a lot easier than, because people have pride. You know, some shit they hold back, but it's not even interesting. Second marriage is like, let's have a family. And then it's like, well, you know, your sperm count's pretty low, probably from the drugs and dope you've been smoking your whole life, which is not true. I started when I was 10. And that's 10 years of clean shit that didn't mess up the purity. So yeah, so you know, it's like, oh yeah, you didn't have low sperm count. I'm like, low sperm count? And they're like, well, let me explain what a low sperm count is. I'm like, well, please enlighten me. So he says, you know, you have to have, I'm making these figures up. You have to have a lot of sperm to be working to get to that egg, to fertilize. I'm like, okay, I get it. What's the deal? Well, yours aren't like, you don't have enough. It's kind of like, you know, percent chance. I'm like, what do you mean I don't have enough? And then he said, well, you have enough. Just a lot of them are just kind of like, you know, they ain't going anywhere. They're just kind of like going in, they're fucking wearing helmets, spinning in circles. You know, they're not like, they're like, fuck. You know, so I got special sperm. God forbid one of those fucks made it. So, you know, that's when I turn into my buddy and think about the positive attitude. And I'm like, yeah, it probably happened for a reason. Probably best that it didn't happen. You know, I can see the look in your fucking eye like I just made fun of somebody. Like, oh, you're like, it's best you didn't have an autistic kid? My kid's autistic. I take offense to that. They don't wear football helmets. I'm talking about my fucking sperm wearing football helmets, not your autistic kid. God damn. Sensitive ass people. Back to me. So, yeah, we didn't have a family, and there I was. I don't need a kid. I don't need, people say that. They're like, oh, man, somebody's going to get pissed, and they're, you know, and that's what I want. Maybe before you go to a show and check it out and find out who's performing, maybe it should be like a Chinese menu, easy to read, you know, number 24. Oh, I don't like those jokes. And then you wouldn't be offended. When you got here, you would know what to expect. And you could go, oh, well, he likes that. You know, we'll just share the joke with him, and then it won't be so. I'm glad you could make it. What, the last 5 minutes, so you could compliment me, tell me what a great show. You did a great job. You did a great job. Those are not the fucking kind of lies I'm looking for from you. I need lies, but not those. Nobody wants to hear the truth, right? That's what they say. The truth is going to set you free. And that's what you're trying to do for me, is set me free by giving me honesty. I tell you what I want to do in life, and you say things like you should have a backup plan. A fucking backup plan? What does that mean? You just might as well replace that with, hey, look, I got this great idea. I think this is what I want to do with my life. You should just be honest. Not say backup plan, just go, your idea, it sucks. And you're going to fucking fail miserably. But I'll be there for you to witness your failure. Because that's what you're saying. I don't need that kind of truth in my life. I need lies. I need the lies that are going to keep you up. You know? The ones that are going to make it. The ones that are going to make me make it. I want to hear those lies. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with my life. And I want you to say it's going to be great. And even though I know it's not the truth, somewhere maybe I'll find some hope in me to make it real. That's what I think I'll do. I don't need to listen to you judge me and your ways and the way you look at me. That's what we do. We can't understand each other, so we criticize each other. I don't know where you're coming from, so fuck you. Well, you don't understand me. That's the problem. It's always the other person. I always got to blame the other person. Nobody can take responsibility for what they say or do or how it affects that other person. I can. How come it's so hard for everybody else? Guess what? I fucked your life up. That's me. I know. You don't have to say, oh, you're not a piece of shit. You didn't do that stuff on purpose. Well, I fucking did it. And it messed your life up. And you're pissed at me. And I can say I'm sorry. And I can genuinely mean it and know who I am as a person. Well, what? Can you admit anything? Did you turn it back on me? Hey, that shit really hurt. Hey, feed me some lies. I don't need, well, I'm sorry, that's the way you interpret things. Fuck, really? There any, all I want to do is make people happy. You know, maybe you're one of them. And I didn't, and I tried. So I failed. But your support is, well, you know, you gave it a shot. I don't want to hear that. I know I fucking gave it a shot. And I know that, I know I failed too. But I don't want to hear it. Regardless, it doesn't matter how hard you try. I love you for who you are as a person. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. I just want to make people happy. I want to change the world, one person, and I want to know it. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the positive things. You don't know it, but you're going to say something and you've said things and met people. You have no idea who they are. You probably don't even remember their faces. But you changed history with the way you affected them in such a positive way and how they changed and helped other people's lives. Those are the lies I want to hear. I don't want to hear about the truth. You've chosen the hardest direction in life. Really? There's a fucking direction harder than another? I thought it was just life in general that's fucking hard. And you're telling me I chose the one path that's harder than any other ones, consciously, because I like to do that to me. I want to fuck up that bad. I know I'm such a failure, and I know I won't get acceptance from anybody because they're going to look at me and go, oh man, well, shit, he chose that route himself. Yeah, I chose it myself. That's what I wanted. I wanted this. That's what people believe. That's what you believe. that I want it all. You did it to yourself. That was pretty good. Next time I'll make it funny. You remember the joke? The blonde got pulled over by the blonde police officer. She asked for a driver's license. She couldn't find it. She handed her a compact. And the police officer looked at it and said, you can go. I thought you were... Well, yeah, it's a blonde joke. I'm sorry. Did that not meet your criteria for funny? I don't think so, because you didn't even fucking let me get to any part of anything that might have been funny to begin with. You're already judging me because of, you're making fun of blonde. Fuck, life is making fun of everything. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'll try another one. Look, there's a couple watching the Discovery Channel, and they're watching African tribes, and all. It's not fucking racist. If you listen to it and give it half a chance, you would maybe, hey, that's pretty funny. I can't accept you got a small mind and you don't want to open it up to what's actually funny. How do you even know it's funny? It's like looking at green pea soup saying you don't like it if you never tried it. You don't even fucking listening to me. It's almost like you're asking me to do something and you want to start a fight. That's what you want to do? Start a fight? But it's my problem, right? Because it's what I'm choosing to talk about. Or how I feel about it. You know what? I think you're judging me. I think everything that's coming out of my mouth, you're already saying that's horrible. He hates blondes, probably beats women. Look, he's telling an African tribe of Discovery Channel, racist. The fuck calls somebody racist before they even hear a joke? You know, before racism, what the fuck? I'm not even telling a joke about racism. You know, I don't need this shit from you. I know what I need to do that makes it funny for me. If you want to experience that with me, that's fine. But don't fucking shut me down with your judgmental attitude about, man, it's probably not going to be funny. Well, you know what? That's on you because you don't fucking get it. That's what I think. Well, goddamn, give me a chance to finish. So you already expected it not to be funny. So you want to interrupt. Knock, knock. Interrupting Cassie. That's an old one. Where'd you get that one from? A bubblegum pack? It's like you're fucking heckling me. You are fucking heckling me. That's what you're doing. But you're doing it to a point where you want to make me mad. You want a reaction. And you're getting one. And what are you doing with the fucking reaction I'm giving you? Nothing. You're just staring at it. You just like you enjoy it. So you're not going to say nothing. You're just going to stand there, stare at me, make me think what you're thinking? Because I don't know. I can only imagine it's the worst. It is, isn't it? But say something! I can try one more time. But I think I know where the fuck you're going to come from, right? You're going to be like, oh, that ain't funny. Just look at him, trying to be funny again. You know, maybe if I just pick out all the problems with you, and then that's it, right? Then that's funny. Hey, look at your problems. Look at Mr. Judgmental. Got to put everybody down to feel better about himself. That's a fucking joke, right? That isn't even a punchline. That is the punchline. Look at you. There's the punchline. You know what? This is truly where abuse is. This is the definition of abuse. I want something from you. I want something from you for myself, so I guess it's selfish. There's nothing more painful than silence. All right, here's the situation. You say something, in the next 3 seconds, or somebody's going to call the police because I'm going to rip this fucking place apart. So think about it fast, and say something. Say something! So a herd of cows moved next door. Last night they had a party. I ended up having to call the police. That's when I realized I'm lactose intolerant. Because they're cows! Shut the fuck up. Damn. Yeah! That's just a bit I've been working on. I don't have a punchline for it yet, but I think it's going to be really good. And however it ends, it's going to be hilarious. I promise. I want to thank y'all for letting me try it out on y'all tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. So I'm trying to figure out what comedy is, and I think I got it. I think it's, you know what? I got it. My brother's Buddhist. He's focused on letting everything go, concentrating on the one, you know, and finding enlightenment. And that's a complete opposite of comedy. So him being Buddhist and me being a comedian is like the whole yin and yang, completely opposite. Because I don't let it go. I hold it in, and it festers, and it hurts, and I think about it, and it keeps me up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and I start spouting off profanity and wake my wife up, and it never goes away. So when I walk on stage, I'm just vomiting all of the poison in me that I've stored up over the years and all the problems that I've had to make you laugh, but it's not to make you laugh. It's to infect you with my problems and everything that happened to me in life so you can now know how I feel. See? My brother goes to the temple so he can let go of everything. You come here to soak it in. Comedy's a trick. Poisonous trick. And you take it as a good thing, I guess. It's funny. There's nothing funny about it. You look at things and go, man, I'm glad that didn't happen to me. Because when you hear that shit and you laugh at it, that's what you're laughing at. Oh, shit. And then what happens when it does or it did happen to you? Then you're coming up to me after the show and you're pissed at me for saying something that hit a little too fucking close to home for you. So now you can take that anger, hurt, pain, festering, dwelling, and take it out on me because I brought it up in you. And there's nothing funny about that. I hate every one of you. I don't give a shit about one of you sitting there. I don't want to make you happy. I want to hurt every one of you with everything that happened to me. I want you to feel the same thing. I want you to hurt too. I don't care if you laugh or not. It wasn't funny when it happened. I'm tired of people laughing at me. That's what I want. I want that misery from you. That's what I want to give back. To be honest with you, I'm tired of all this. And I don't want to do it anymore or ever again. And people look and they say, you've done so much great stuff for so many people. You've changed their lives for the best. You've inspired them. You've brought them joy and happiness and all the good things in your life that you've done for people. And that's not true. Not from the 3 marriages that I've had. They don't feel that way. I can't feel everything I've done for everybody good, but I can feel everything bad and painful to the people I've hurt. And it starts from birth, I guess, because that's what kind of mind it is. And people blame me. They're like, look, he's weak. He's an alcoholic, or he does drugs, and that's how he gets where he is in life. And that's why he has the problems he has. No, I have the fucking problem, and I'm using the alcohol and drugs to get rid of the pain. And you judge me on being weak and having to lean on something. But you know what? I'm fucking leaning on you. That's who I'm leaning on. Alcohol and drugs are not the problems. The problems are the things I can't let go of. Like having your wife cheat on you, having your kids go to jail because they're driving drunk, having an overwhelming sense of fucking hate for yourself that you don't even know how to deal with it, but everybody finds the fucking joy in you. And I can't deal with that anymore. And I don't want to. No, I don't drink and do drugs because I'm weak. I'm strong. I just want to get rid of the pain. It's an intention to do it. I'm not thinking, oh, am I going to do it again? I'm going to hurt again, and I'm going to do the fucking drugs, and I'm going to drink to get rid of all that fucking pain that brings you so much fucking happiness. And I'm tired of my fucking failures. And that's what I'm going to leave with you tonight. All of my failures.
poison sweetly. Lying long, he breathes flowers and beauty from his bed. Lives completely, safe from the rapist hands of time. The fire sparks